Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So I am currently staying at my parents' place. They are out of town, so I am currently dog sitting. And I figured that this is the perfect opportunity for me to do something that I've seen on Book Talk and BookTube a lot, but haven't been able to participate in, and that is Pet Pick my read. So I've been reading Before I Let Go by Kennedy Ryan for the last few days, and honestly, I'm just not feeling it. I feel like the writing is really good. It's very descriptive, and I can feel the chemistry between the characters, but the romance is just a little bit more serious than I am looking for right now. I kind of want a more rom-com feeling romance than an actual grounded in reality looking at tough times romance. Before I Let Go follows this couple, Josiah and Yasmin. They have really strong chemistry, but because of events that take place before this book, they end up getting divorced. So at the very beginning of this book, we have Yasmin and Josiah co-parenting and co-owning a restaurant that they have together. At the very beginning, there's a little bit of tension between them, because it looks like Josiah is starting to move on romantically. That is as far as I've gotten. I've only read 3 chapters in this book so far, so I don't have a ton of knowledge of where this goes. I will say that based off of the back and kind of what was being hinted at, it feels like this might end up being an accidental pregnancy trope, which I'm not the biggest fan of, but I feel like Kennedy Ryan's writing is so good, and you can feel the chemistry between these characters so strongly that it might still work for me. However, I'm just not in the mood for a serious romance. I don't really want something that's very grounded in reality. I want a little bit more of that rom-com type of feeling. You know, that like 2000s rom-com where it's in our world, but does this stuff ever happen? No, this only ever happens in the movies type of story. So I am going to soft DNF it and then come back to it when I'm a little bit more in the mood. But that means that I need a new book to read. Luckily, yesterday, my partner and I went out to Barnes & Noble, and I picked up 3 different queer romances. First, we have You Won't Forget Me by Mazey Eddings. This is about a girl named Cubby. She is in a band with her on-again, off-again boyfriend, as well as her 2 best friends. At the beginning of this book, her boyfriend abandons the band, leaving her and her other 2 bandmates to try to figure out what to do with it. After Cubby's boyfriend leaves the band, her and the remaining 2 bandmates have a wild night in which a picture goes viral of Cubby and one of her bandmates, Harry, in a sort of flirty or romantic type of situation. But that same night, Cubby and their other bandmate, Darcy, end up hooking up. And so it's this whole thing of them trying to figure out how to navigate the messy press between Cubby's boyfriend leaving the band, Cubby potentially hooking up with another person in the band, and then actually hooking up with the 3rd person in the band. I can already imagine that this is full of messy drama. So this is option number 1. Option 2 is Anderson in Bloom by Jennifer Dugan. This is also a sapphic romance, and it follows a child star named Andy who decides to randomly fall off the face of the earth. She doesn't want to live in the public eye anymore, and she opens up a flower shop. While she's hiding away in this flower shop, her ex, Nikki, makes a book about her time on the TV show that the 2 of them starred on, about their relationship. Andy sees it, feels betrayed, and messages Nikki, and Nikki decides to show up out of the blue and confront Andy about everything. This also takes place in a lot of drama, takes place in the public eye in Hollywood, so I'm also very excited about this one. And then the 3rd one, similarly, is called Starshipped by Sebastian. This follows these two actors, Simon and Charlie. They star on a sci-fi TV show with each other. Simon gets an opportunity to leave the show and start doing something else, but finds that his reputation is on the line, and that results in him and Charlie staging a friendship when in reality they've been known to bicker and not really get along with each other. Since they're trying to prove to the public that they're actually friends, they end up spending a lot more time outside of set with each other, and they get to know each other, and obviously things spiral from there. Those are the three options. I feel like they're all not similar in storyline, but like in vibes they're similar. Like all the art styles on this are very similar, and they all take place with public figures and people who are famous. But I thought they were really cute, and I feel like all three of them will probably satisfy that more rom-com-y feel than Before I Let Go. So the plan now is to show my dog these three books and see which one he picks for me. We have the three options set up on the floor. Let me go get my dog. Ash, sit. Sit. Good boy. Okay, Ashton, wait, sit. Stay. Stay. Okay, Ash, go. That one? Okay. Good boy. Dinky doggy. Thanks, boy. Oh. Thanks, Pupper. Good boy. Say hi to the camera. Say hi. I know you don't like cameras in your face. Say hi. Do you have anything to say? Okay, thanks, dog. It's all wet now. Thank you for burping in my mic. Good boy. Good boy. Good boy. Okay, as you guys saw, Ash ended up picking You Won't Forget Me by Mazey Eddings. So that is going to be the book we'll read in this vlog. I am currently covered in so much dog fur, and he got his slobber all over my mic. So thank you for that, Ashton. Let's read a little bit and see how this book goes. Hey guys, it has been a few days and I am back in my apartment, and I have some updates for you for You Won't Forget Me. I am currently on page 138, so almost halfway through the book, and I am really enjoying this so far. Like I said, this follows a band that started in high school. There were 4 main members: Cubby, Connor, Darcy, and Harry. That started the band together. Before the events of this book, Cubby and Connor have been dating on and off for 5 years in this very toxic, emotionally abusive relationship. At the end of those 5 years, Connor breaks up with her, leaves the band, and has a song go viral about Cubby and basically about how she just wasn't good in the bedroom. The song goes completely viral, and he has shot up to fame in a solo career, and that's kind of where the book starts. The first 50, 60 pages of this was so messy. We went from 0 to 100, we were fully thrown in straight into the drama, and I was eating it up. So many things happened at the very beginning of this book. We learn about Connor and his solo career and how he has been invited on a big late night talk show. he does an interview that spreads more rumors and kind of puts the blame on Cubby for the ending of their relationship, says that Cubby broke his heart and is basically the reason why they broke up. He debuts a new song on the late night talk show, except Cubby is the one who wrote it about her and Connor's first breakup 5 years ago when they were 18. And things just spiral from there. Cubby gets caught in another scandal where a picture of her and Harry get posted that makes it look like they're romantically involved, which causes them to have to go through this whole fake dating scandal and kind of hype that up and keep that up on social media so that their band can use it to propel their careers. On that same night, Cubby and Darcy hook up, and they had been best friends. They're like childhood best friends, and both of them think that they are straight. So that unlocks a whole host of feelings, and all of this happens in like the first 5-6 chapters. Like, it all happens so quickly, and the rest of this book is basically them dealing with the fallout of it. It's them going on a tour to capitalize on all of the drama surrounding Cubby and the band. Obviously, we'll see how all of it plays out. Like I said, I'm really enjoying this so far. One of my favorite things about this that I'm really enjoying is the fact that this is a queer discovery book, but for someone older. I feel like a lot of queer discovery books happen in high school, but Cubby is 23. This is post-college, like young adult, or I should say new adult, because young adult usually refers to like teenagers. But this is a new adult who hasn't had any idea about her sexuality because she just has been in this one relationship with a very toxic guy and still doesn't know that she can think of women in a romantic way. And so we get to watch her journey, discovering her sexuality, coming to terms with it. I can also imagine that there's going to be a lot of extra drama with the whole fake dating thing going on with Harry and this tour that they have going on. So I am really enjoying this. I love the interactions that these characters have. You can tell that Darcy and Cubby are just so close, like they grew up together. They give that best friend vibe. And so after the night that they hook up, things get a little awkward between them, and you can feel the tension and like how uncomfortable it is. The energy and vibes that Harry gives to everybody is just so wholesome. I am a little worried that something might happen towards the end of this book that might make me not like his character as much. But right now, in the perspective of how Cubby sees everything, I really like Harry. Like, I feel like Harry is just a very heartfelt, like heartwarming character. He's just a very reliable person and really truly cares about her. After Connor leaves the band, 2 other members come in, Kale and Skull, and those 2 are very minor characters in this book, but they're there for a little bit of like comic relief, I guess. Even if their personalities aren't them being funny, the situations that they create give a little break from Cubby's constant stress. She is a very anxious character. She's a very depressed character. You can tell just how much her relationship with Connor has completely destroyed her self-esteem. And then on top of that, she is being completely berated on social media for the stuff that went viral from Connor's songs. And this book really takes a look at the difference between social media's response to women versus men in like a love triangle situation. Despite the truth of the matter, she is the one who's getting the most hate out of the 3 of them, where the audience absolutely loves Harry and they absolutely love Connor. So she is seen as the villain and is being bullied online in comment sections, and you can see how terribly that does for her already low self-esteem. I also really like that at the beginning of every chapter, there are song lyrics that are just scribbled on the margins and like across the top of the page. It kind of gives you an idea of where Cubby's head is at with the events of each chapter, and you can imagine the public is going to be seeing or hearing in their shows. So yeah, that's You Won't Forget About Me. It is currently at 9 a.m., so I have quite a bit of time this morning. I'm planning to meet up with my friends for a little game night, not really night, game session this afternoon. So I have a few more hours. I have a lot I need to do, but I do want to make sure I finish this before I head on my trip. I'm meeting up with my friends at 2 p.m. for a little game session, so that gives me 5 hours about before I need to leave. I only have 1 week before my trip, so I have a lot of prep I need to do. I need to film and edit. I need to make sure that all my laundry gets done. Yeah, okay. I have a lot I need to get done, and I honestly don't really want to do any of it. I kind of just want to sit here and read this book, but I will come back to you when I have more thoughts or updates. Hey guys, it's been a few days and I have finally finished You Won't Forget Me. This was so much fun. It was so messy, it was so dramatic, and I was just eating it up the entire time. Cubby was a very frustrating character to read. She made so many mistakes, and sometimes it was just so infuriating because you're watching her make these decisions and you know that this is just a terrible decision for her to be making, but she makes it anyway, and you watch her suffer the consequences, and it's just like thing after thing piling on. It is very tough to read from her perspective. She's very self-deprecating. She talks a lot about her depression and her lack of self-worth, her lack of self-esteem. And so it can be very hard to see that over and over again. The only explanation we really get for it is her relationship with Connor, but I feel like we didn't see enough of what happened in that relationship. I wish we got a little bit more of that and added a little bit more depth to that whole backstory. I feel like the author did a good job of kind of showing her depression and showing the effects of social media and the unhealthy obsession that can develop with the internet and with social media. I feel like all of those themes were done very well. I also wish that there was a little bit more depth when it came to the characters discovering their sexuality. They spent a majority of this book completely ignoring the topic, avoiding it, not wanting to confront it. And then 3/4 of the way through or something like that, we do a quick 180 and suddenly they're a lot more accepting of it. And I feel like we just went through that section a little too quickly. I wish we got to see a little bit more of why they came to terms with it and why they started to accept that about themselves. We were just kind of told that part, but didn't get to really experience or see it. What really made this book for me was the relationships within the story. The friendships between Harry, Darcy, and Cubby were just so wholesome. They know every in and out about each other. They're so attentive. They love each other so deeply on both a platonic and romantic level. They just love each other and get each other so deeply. And I loved watching them interact. I loved those little banter and play fighting moments that they had. I really wish we got to see more of our side characters, Kale, Skull, and Oliver. The three of them, I feel like, added a good little relief to the rest of this story. I just wanted more interactions with those characters, especially Kale and Oliver. They were very good at telling Cubby what she needed to hear and just being upfront with her. And I think she needed that a lot throughout this book. So I wish we got a little bit more of that. I also just really was entertained by every conversation that involved them. And so I just wanted to see them more on our page and see them kind of develop friendships with all of our main characters. I will say that a lot of what happens in here is fairly predictable. Like, I pretty much knew a lot of what was going to happen throughout the book, but the characters are just so passionate and so high energy, so dramatic. It kept my attention, and you really feel for them despite not agreeing with the choices that they make and the things that they do or say. I really loved the ending of this. I thought that the epilogue was probably one of the more satisfying epilogues I've read. Normally I feel like it doesn't really add anything to the book, but I feel like the way that the epilogue was done was satisfying and wrapped it up nicely. Overall, this was really, really good. I wouldn't say it was what I was looking for when I picked it up, because I was looking for a more cutesy romance, but this was still so good. I recommend it. I think I'm gonna give it 4 stars, maybe 4.25. I'm not 100% sure yet, but yeah, I had the best time reading this, so highly, highly recommend. But with that, I'm going to wrap this video up here. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you want me to do this again, please let me know. I will find a way to go back to my parents' house and record again with my dog, because I absolutely love him and I miss him a lot. Also, comment down below if you have any recommendations with sapphic characters, sapphic stories, whether that's the main plot or the subplot. I feel like I need a lot more of that kind of representation in my books, so let me know if you have any recommendations. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!